Hello, welcome to the Internet Chess Club. This is Grandmaster Miguel Illescas, and we are here to analyze game number 10 of the World Championship match, which is taking place in Dubai between the champion Magnus Carlsen and the challenger young Nepomniachtchi. Today, the Norwegian had the white pieces, and we're going to see the critical moment in this game, which happened in this after black played knight f6, and now it is white to move. Magnus played rook b8 with a clear idea to provoke black to take the rook so white can take on c6 and win the queen. So what did Nepo play? He surprised everybody taking the rook, and after bishop c6 it looks like this was a big blunder from black, because now he's going to lose the queen with check. Its next move, bishop takes c6 check, and it looks like black is completely lost. Is that true? Can you find a good move for black? Yes, we have this beautiful answer, rook h1 check. The bishop cannot take it because the queen would be on prise. So after white goes with the king to a white square, black has this lethal check, bishop d5, and the game is completely winning after queen c6. Black is a piece up. Did you like it? Maybe yes, but this is not what happened today in Dubai. I am very sorry to disappoint you. This was my game in Tromsø Olympiad with Tom Cantans, which I played with black. I won with this beautiful combination. Sorry for the joke, but we need some humor now that things are getting very serious for the challenger, young Nepomniachtchi, who today was playing with the black pieces, and the game was a draw. As you will see, a pretty safe, solid game from white's perspective. Magnus, he wanted to repeat the story of game number 8, just going for something very safe and keeping his strategy to have the initiative. You will see. One first thing, people who was on the internet asking for Nepo to play the Sicilian, to go crazy. One second. Okay, let's think. Okay, this poor guy, he's human, you know. He lost 3 games. Last 2 which he lost in a very bad manner, and the only thing he wants now is the match to end as soon as possible. He cannot now get into the mood to play brilliantly with black. This is completely nonsense. Now the guy, he just wants to go home, and unfortunately for him, the faster way to go home is to lose a game, or maybe to make some quick draws and finish the match. My feeling is that the match is completely over. And today's game, it more or less confirms this view, because the black played the Russian defense. Both, they are keeping the same strategy. Black is repeating the same openings, and white, in this case, Magnus, he wanted again to surprise, and he did it with the move knight d3. It's not such a big surprise because he played this a couple of times, one of them against Fabiano Caruana in the World Championship match. But it's well known move which is going to bring a kind of equality. In that 2 games against Fabiano, the North American, he played knight c6. And this considers to be kind of refutation of white's approach, because after knight d5, Fabiano played knight d4, and we go for a line which is very well known to bring full equality. In that game, 92, 97, 92, and it was a draw. What can I say? In today's game, it's a bit surprising that Nepo played very fast, knight f6 in just few seconds. This is not the main move. As I said, knight c6 considers to be the easiest way to equality. It's clear that he didn't want to enter into any theoretical debate against Carlsen, which is supposed to be very well prepared in this line. And after d4, I was a bit surprised to see Nepo playing blitzing the move knight c6, which is a novelty. And suddenly Magnus was forced to think, because this was something new, and he was thinking almost 20 minutes. He was thinking for a long time, trying to figure out if he can play for a win with bishop e3, or if he has to be happy with a draw with c3. I mean, his idea was, of course, to play something similar like game 8, just to play for 2 results, to make Nepo unhappy. But today, Nepo, he knew what he wanted to do. He just wanted to make a draw, go for the rest day. And we will see if the Russian with the white pieces can try at least to win one game in game 11. But today, the game was pretty boring. I mean, after c3, we have a symmetrical position. Black played d5. And, well, I have to say that after bishop e3, the position is very unclear. I mean, black can play maybe bishop f5, then white can go knight c3. There are some jumps here. Black can maybe go long castle. White can also go long castle. The position is still symmetrical. Probably white is slightly better. It looks like at some point he may play g3, bishop g2, and but of course black can also play g6, bishop g7, and it's difficult to say how much better it is this position for white. I think it's slightly better only. But okay, in the game, Magnus, he didn't want to get away from his original plan, then he played c3. Now for black, it's difficult to avoid trade of queens, because bishop e6, white can simply take the pair of bishops, and it would be quite a bad idea to play something like that, because okay, it's going to be an open position, maybe g3, bishop h3, and white is better. Then okay, after c3, black played d5, knight d2. Magnus here was playing a bit slowly, trying to play well. And knight d8, it's not surprising. The knight is very badly placed on c6, and now it wants to go to e6, just trying to trade some pieces. And well, after knight f3, knight e6, sorry, take, and bishop d6. What can I say? I mean, he could of course play knight e6, but how is he going to develop his pieces? I mean, if black intends to keep queens on the board, life is going to be difficult for him, and that's why Nepo, he learned the lesson of game 8, and this time he just wanted to make a quick draw, and he traded queens with queen e2 and bishop d6. Now the position is completely equal. There is nothing really to analyze here. We can just have a look what happened in the game. Both playing very cautiously. I mean, very cautious. It's really not. At one point, it looked like maybe Magnus got some slight edge. Here, he wants to play bishop f4 and maybe make some pressure against the black bat's bishop. But black played knight h5, and then okay, white was kind of forced to play g4 if he wants to develop to f4. This is what he did. It was brave. He could just make a draw with bishop d2 and rook e1. But Magnus, at least he tried to play. Nepo was playing very fast. I mean, it's clear he knew that today it was time to play practical, to make a draw. And after bishop f4, okay, white is maybe slightly better, but after move g5, position becomes completely equal. In fact, white has to go back with the knight, and Nepo immediately gets the initiative with f5. And really, he cannot be worst here. In the game, it happened h3, king f7, and here Magnus was thinking for a while, trying to make sure that he's going to get the draw he wants, and he went rook h1, which is a good idea just to liquidate the king side. You will see why. Because now after h6, just trying to prevent h4, and then it came f4. Of course, the position is completely symmetrical, completely equal. Black thought this was time already to go for a draw after take. And now it's very important that black cannot take on e2 to win a pawn. Can you see why? Yeah, we have always to pay attention to the potential checks. And in this case, this is a winning check. After the king moves, white takes on e8 and wins a beautiful exchange. That's why Nepo went bishop f5, and then okay, for a couple of moves, white is a pawn up, but after king g6, he's going to take the pawn back, and the position becomes completely symmetrical. A few moves later, the players, they agreed to a draw with a little joke here, because at this moment, white is running checkmate. So Nepo, he had the chance to come back to Russia earlier, but he decided to make it a bit longer, So he checked, and in this moment they agreed to a draw. So not so much to say here about this game. I mean, the critical moment was when Magnus, well, he decided that, in fact, that 3 draws are fine for him. He still has 2 more white games, and then so far now the score is, if I'm not mistaken, it was 6-3. Now it's 6.5, 3.5. Magnus needs only 1 more point to get the magical 7.5 points, which would keep the title for him. And I believe Nepo really has no strength to keep fighting. We will see. I mean, at least with white, he should try to go for some sharp game. If he would win, there would be some drama on the last games, but it's difficult to give him good advice, because internally, I mean, you feel that the match is over. I mean, after the mistake in game 9, and this was simply too much. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this recap, and I hope to see you after the rest day on Friday to analyze together game 11. Thank you so much. Bye.